The overlay better freaking work. Hey, wait, what? It says everybody's red. Wait, I'm gonna put... Okay, so if I do this color thing, I think I have to keep the normal colors like this, right? I'm not actually sure. Okay, let me move real quick. Stop scrolling to the left. No! Okay, I'm gonna move this in... Oh my god, no. Okay, I need to lock some stuff. I'm sorry, guys. I should have tested this a little better before going live, perhaps, but I think as long as I set it correctly now, it will be there for the rest of the tournament, because I've already got those scenes here. What the fuck am I moving right now? Okay, we're gonna put this one here. I think this works, right? Move this one a little lower. I don't need the logo to be like gigantic or something. Crota is probably gonna join me from maybe map 2, sorry, second, maybe even map 2, because right now it seems like everything's working so far. So we got the Korean team down there. It's ThundeR and MichaeL, the two brothers. My dream is to watch them play against Luciferon and Vortex, so we can have a brother-on-brother tag team. I think that would be pretty amazing. Up there we got Spiral, the German Orc, and SyDe, the French Undead, opening with the Crypt Lords. It seems like Undead Orc has been doing pretty well, like Bizarre and Chic in particular, for example. They've been doing a lot of Crypt Lords expansion, plus Headhunter with Farseer usually for the teammates, and it looks like this is what it might be here. A very, very strong build currently in 2-on-2. It seems like the 2-on-2 meta has actually evolved as of late. Let me know what you guys think about... if one of the mods want to do a prediction as well for each best of 3, I think that would be convenient. Yeah, so let me know about the sound levels, how everything sounds right now, and what do you think about the damaged HP bars. So we don't see all the HP bars like this, so I think the bases and stuff look prettier. But then when stuff starts taking damage, then we'll, or use any mana, then we'll see a little bit better. This overlay Carson is War 3 Observer. I think it's better than WT Booster for team games, because WT Booster is mostly for solo. So for the 2-on-2, I'm gonna use this one, combined with WT Booster here at the top, which also shows the map here. Ideally, I would have liked to have craft boards, because then I could have covered that top part with the player names a little bit better. Like now it says as and stuff. Like it's not the most relevant information necessarily. Okay, there is a bunch of stuff happening all over the place. I think if I could use craft boards, if I manage to make it work later, then I will activate this, and then we'll have only 2 colors to worry about. And then in the overlay, it will say like, you know, ThundeR and MichaeL in red, Spiral and SyDe in teal. It would be much better in that way, but sadly, like I said, it was not working so far. So for now, I'm gonna keep these 4 different colors. It's gonna be hard to figure out who's who for a bit. There is also, if you guys can speak Russian, Well Played TV is streaming this. And there is also Ladin doing it in Korean, I believe. Actually, I'm not even sure. I think maybe he does like half English, half Korean with Ladin. There's always a bit of both. Although trying to be aggressive, you have to creeping just a little bit in the starts. I'm not sure if I like this against Headhunters. Like, he's not supposed to be able to achieve much. MichaeL, same thing. He crept to level 2 and now he's getting closer to that expansion. Wait, I thought SyDe saw him added there. Maybe he just plans on cancelling? Or he's just sending Spiral to defend, but Spiral is going to be between both players now. I don't know, this looks a little bit risky. He gets scroll speed and healing salve. That expo is dead. Maybe he might have been planning on cancelling that the whole time. Yo, BBF Bambi with a resub. Thank you very much, my dude. Welcome back. Much love. Woo! Okay. His units all over the place, already beginning to fight. Nerubian gonna be targeted. So MichaeL's kind of trapped there. Maybe he's just content with sniping. Yeah, he's just gonna TP, isn't he? Snipe the Zig and get out. Shout outs to... I'm gonna guess Coratius did the betting thing, so much love, my dude, thank you. I think it's too hard for me usually to do it. If I would only like cast games in these tournaments, then I think it would be fine. But the thing is, I'm also admitting and then I'm also synchronizing with the other casters. So there's like, I have a little too much on my plate to be able to do the bets thing, because it takes quite a bit of attention to like remember every time. And I don't have the best attention span. Yeah, I could probably do it, but it would make my life a lot more difficult, and I'd always forget one thing maybe. Maybe it's better this way, that I just focus on adminning, hosting games. For the match tomorrow, by the way, I will not be able to cast at first because I have Meisterschaft, so it's gonna be Foggy and Hawk against Wiz and Sed. And SyDe is gonna cast on his channel. And I think after I'm done with Kevin, maybe I'll join him or something, we'll see. So, but yeah, for that match tomorrow, it's exactly at the same time as my Meisterschaft match. Yeah, maybe 8 matches per week was a little bit overly ambitious. There is also one of the match clashes, but there is a match almost every day, so we're going to be very busy following these tournaments with lots of amazing games, which I can't complain about. I think the prize pool went up at $10, by the way, so I'll have a look at the Matcherino in between. Then we can see what's going on with that. Faster getting level 3 here. Oh, the overlay is clashing a bit actually over there. Oh, I miscalculated that. Yeah, we need to get craft boards to work later. Ay ay ay. No, I never pressed Alt in game actually, Carson. I think one of the last players to actually like try to not evolve with the times was Haziops, from what I remember. He was like one of those guys that didn't turn on HP bar, that kept pressing Alt. I think Happy might have been like that too for a bit. But yeah, I do think the game looks better like this, but I can understand how some people's OCD is gonna kick in and I'm gonna be like, oh my god, how can you see anything? Bloodmage second to try and feed that Crypt Lord here, who's got Impale level 2. Let's see those Impales. Starting to land big time here. Oh my god, there's just Impales all over the place. I can't even... I think in fight, maybe I can switch to this, so it's clear who's who. With red against steel. Oh my god, the Shadow Hunter? Oh my god, is he surrounded? Okay, I thought they were not gonna pick up on that. Blood Mage is next. There's no more Impale, but it's gonna go down anyway. And it looks like the Korean team is pushing back the Frenchman and the German. So still a lot of Fiends left over. You need to get out, Spiral. He wants to TP last second, I think. Or maybe not even TP at all. Ooh, that was close. But behind this, they're gonna have Expo. The problem is that SyDe's tech is like... I mean, SyDe needs to go home. Like, his tech is super delayed. I think they're gonna need to like hit and run. He's playing double Sanctum, by the way. Interesting. Yeah, for SyDe and Spiral to win, it's gonna take like this expansion to do amazing things for them now. Basically, they need to outproduce hard. Holy shit! Impale! That's not what it sounds like, but... Okay, so Spiral and SyDe actually... How much do they have left here? 33 supply, 38 against 42 and 46. And with MichaeL getting this close to tier 3, once he gets a Lich third with Orb here, the fighting potential is just going to be insane. Yeah, those Fiends are actually quite good here.
A player's forces are under attack.
SyDe, I think he's trying to buy some time. He understands that there were going to be an attack.
The town is under siege.
Oh, Chris, you did the bet. Thank you, my dude. Much love. We'll switch colors again. Honestly, I really hope I can fix the craft wall thing. If anybody knows something about tech, I would love some help. Because I was starting the program and then it just doesn't start. So I thought it's because I was missing framework. Then I tried to download it and it said I have an even more recent version of it than the one required. So honestly, it should just work. But when I open Craftboard, nothing happens. Like I see something on my third monitor light up and then disappear immediately. Looks like Team Chapjay doing pretty well. But they're not even called Team Chapjay, are they? Oh no, they're Team Rise again. I don't even care. I'm gonna call them Team Chapjay. MichaeL harassed me enough with his freaking food for me to call them whatever they want, whatever I want. The Creep Lords. The Creep Lords. They're all mana here, sides. And there's no shop. It's above there. He needs to spam mana pots here, actually. I'm trying to hold on, but there's a lot of units.
A player's forces are under attack.
I don't know how much SyDe and Spiral practiced, but I don't think it was that many games. So if they lose this 2-on-2, even if they win here, like seeing them struggle a little bit more in this first map, I hope that they train hard for the next matches, because the 2-on-2 is super important. We open every match with the 2-on-2, and all of the 2-on-2 maps in this map pool, they're in the WT Champions ladder, so it's the perfect place to practice. I mean, from here, they have a lot of summon, but there's these pools. Look at this. There's the mana pots. Did they already use all the mana pots? I don't understand why this Crypt Lord is not carrying any. 2 towers back at home. Here we had one made as well. MichaeL and ThundeR looking very solid so far. Guys, this tournament's gonna be epic. Go for the DK. He's gonna fall so fast. Yeah, Lich. I always knew that once Lich was gonna be there here, it's always gonna be super tricky for them. Do well. So Team Rise again, aka Team Chapjay, wins map number 1. The game music was off, right? So Turtle Rock second. Ooh. Turtle Rock. Crypt Lord with Archmage Aura and Blood Mage is insane. Yeah, it's pretty good. It is pretty damn good for sure. Let me check the Match Arena page. Spin a Gitter. Wait, what? Oh, I thought... Oh, I didn't realize it. I thought it was $10, but it's $110. Thank you so much, my dude. We're at $1,200 almost, and this is literally the first match of so many matches. We had Ken Keeb as well earlier with $100. Damn, 1,200. You guys are awesome. Okay, Spiral wants a second. Crota is gonna join me, I think. What do you guys think? Should we call them Team Japche or? Hello.
Hello, hello.
What's up, man?
Not much, not much. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. You're recording for your YouTube, I hope?
Yes, I am. Not right now, obviously, since we're in between, but I will be recording and posting up. I'll make sure to link over to your Twitch and YouTube in the
Nice.
description of the video as well.
I recommend, I mean, I don't know, you can do things your way, but I recommend recording like whole best of threes. I've found it's better than to spam mass games at once when you post them. So now I've started recording, like not the whole match, but like the 2-on-2 individually, basically. Okay, just waiting on Spiral, and then we'll go. Hey, your deadbeat dad with a resub. Thank you very much. Welcome back. Much love.
I think I have time for two more games, and then I'll have to dip out, and I'll make sure to point any additional games over to your channel.
Thanks. Side said ready, but I don't know if he meant for him. Okay.
I think Spiral said go. Yep.
Yo, Max87 from Germany with the €3. Who is the opponent? You think it's funny? Thank you very much, my dude. Much love. Hey, Crota, do you think it's funny?
What do I think? What is funny?
Just a meme.
I'm like, wait, what? Huh? Like, all right, let's focus on the game here.
Yeah.
And a 2v2 matchup, game number 2 in this series. We have Spiral versus SyDe. Spiral and SyDe going up against MichaeL and ThundeR. MichaeL and ThundeR, the Korean brothers, right? Korean brothers. ThundeR also being very popular on Instagram, I hear, going in against SyDe and Spiral. What do you think about game number 1?
It's hard to, it's hard not to be critical because it felt like he was kind of one-sided. I don't know. I feel like SyDe and Spiral, like it's just the start of the tournament. The new season of W2 Champions only started 3 days ago, so they haven't had much time to practice yet. This tournament only uses maps from the new season. So yeah, it felt like they weren't that well prepared yet for the 2-on-2 at this level against this caliber of opponents. But yeah, I hope that as time passes by, all teams are going to be practicing hard on the ladder. I think the 2-on-2 ladder could be very sick because of that. Even though we were playing on Hillsbright Creek, which is kind of known, like that Orc Undead meta with the Criplord Expo and Headhunters is kind of new, and I feel you need to practice it a lot. Bizarre and Chic, they're two of the better players that do it usually.
Yeah, I also thought that MichaeL and ThundeR, their teamwork and their strategy was just spot on. In their second fights, constantly being able to siphon mana, funnel that Crypt Lord, and keep those units in the air. There was a little bit of misstepping where like you would siphon mana the opponent's Crypt Lord, and then it would get impaled and it would break the siphon mana. But hopefully, we'll see better teamwork as as you say, the season goes on, and people understand how to work better as a team.
Yeah. It's very interesting, this scout tower from ThundeR. He already did that last game towards the expansion, or would-be expansion of SyDe. I wonder if he just goes back with the peasant. He's going to follow up scouts, but then that peasant is not very mobile. It dies quickly, and it still gives him some sort of cheap follow-up scouts to see the opponents move out. So it's pretty sick, actually, that tower. I really like that.
Yeah, I like that tower when he dropped it right next to the Voodoo Lounge, and anywhere where it's a common place where it kind of defines where your opponent's strategy is going to go, whether it's going to be an expansion or whether they're going to attack to the north or to the south, since this is classic Turtle Rock, and any little bit of extra information is always helpful. Mountain King now making its way out, both sides just doing a little bit of creeping. What do you think about Mountain King over Archmage in here in game number 2?
I think as much as they're not going to have any brilliance, which is also helpful, as long as MichaeL eventually goes into statues, which he should every game, it's okay because there's still going to be a Blood Mage second. So on a map where it's like a lot of big creeps that are hard to creep, if you go Archmage you can kind of get bullied. I kind of like it. I do think though, like if Spiral and SyDe would do the thing that we saw a lot of the time from Bizarre and Chic, which is fast expanding every game, and then the orc going Farseer Headhunter. I do think they would have been very favored because with Mountain King you cannot achieve any aggression and damage early on. But they went for a different strategy.
Yep, different strategy here. Mountain King did get a good surround onto one of Spiral's orcs on the other side. And now this game is almost looking like two 1v1 matchups happening simultaneously as opposed to a 2v2, which is always an interesting dynamic in 2v2 games as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Players'
ThundeR, though,
forces are under
is about to
attack.
come over. I mean, Spiral technically was kind of trying to keep MichaeL busy, but MichaeL realized the shop was being crept, showed up, stole the Magi, but not the item, right? No, he didn't get it. That was a beautiful ring +4 for SyDe. I'm sure he's thrilled about this.
Well, more importantly, getting that Watcher ward by SyDe, you know, being able to watch those pathways and know exactly where your opponent's going. Expansions here, I'm thinking about it here on 2v2. You're expanding towards your opponent, and it just seems like it's just going to be constantly harassed. So we may see just a lot of like one base on both sides, as ThundeR's scout tower will finally get refunded, and we'll see what ThundeR does with this little bit of extra information.
Did you say refunded?
Right, he canceled that, right? I'm assuming he did.
Yeah. Some things were harder to get refunded, I heard, like not too long ago.
Well, at least you can refund in Warcraft 3.
Ooh,
all right.
Trying to go for the steal with one hit. And the Blade Master actually was surrounded for a sec. He had no windwalk, but ThundeR let the surround go. Speed Scroll being used. Stormbolt is going to be there. He might try to force the Townfall. If one unit dies, that's going to be Blade level 2. Oh, that wasn't a full surround. I thought it was for a second.
No, Spiral was able to get one of his grunts right in front of him. He was able to move them both away at the last moment. And, you know, it's the same reason why you summon Spirit Wolves as a Farseer. You have a way to get out, and it's harder to get that surround going. As it's a 2v1 fight in the middle. They're kind of getting pushed here on both sides. Units are falling. Crypt Fiends are doing a little bit of that poke damage back and forth. But with no Death Knight yet out onto the battlefield, that Crypt Lord could easily get targeted and burst down, as that is the weakest link for the Undead army right now. Mountain King really pressing forward, trying to go after side units, and it's really turning into this weird 2v1 fight. And where is Spiral? Spiral is just trying to pick off units that are making their way over, as Militia are making their way, and perhaps are we going to see a... What are they doing this far out here?
It's kind of weird. I think they were trying to catch them, but then the fight didn't really materialize because Spiral and SyDe, they were pulling back. They were trying to pick off certain units by themselves. Now, going for the Crypt Lords, I'm not sure I agree with this. I feel like if he had gone for Fiends, he could have killed maybe 2 or 3, whereas now he's going to force the Townfall, and they're going to kill 0 Fiends, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be an easy escape there. And meanwhile, the Mountain King was already back. There was a bunch of peasants that I thought would have been easily picked off since they overextended themselves. But it is going to buy vital seconds for Spiral and SyDe to perhaps clear these gargantuan sea turtles and hopefully get some useful consumable items and perhaps follow up with a push here.
Yeah, I'm really curious exactly like what prompted this style. I guess probably just the map. The Crypt Lord of MichaeL gets caught in the center. This is, by the way, the advantages, or the more advantageous host for the Korean team. We're on Mumbai now, as opposed to Russia Central first game, so apparently that ping doesn't mean much. Korean team won on their harder hosts, and now they're in a bit of trouble here on Turtle Rock.
Yeah, no, it was a beautiful impale followed up with a well-timed hex to stop any Scroll of Town portal. And we're going to see if whether or not Spiral getting the Stormbolt onto the Shadowhunter. Shadowhunter is going to be a little bit of a problem. There's the Thunderclap, but the Shadowhunter just separates enough distance to not take any additional melee damage. Deathcoil is trying to save the heroes, but this is just a complete train wreck, trying to figure out where all of the units are. And I'm not going to say, like, Micro, there's no lines of battle here where you know where your units are and your opponent's units are, and you're trying to attack them. It just seems like units are passing through each other, and you're somehow just trying to make something happen. As well, Mountain King gonna pick up a Scroll of the Beast. No, Death Knight picks it up. Both sides now having that Scroll of the Beast.
Yeah, I don't understand why they aggro the crypts. I think they was thinking about just engaging the camp. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication, because he was SyDe engaging into that turtle alone. It's a very big camp. Like,
yeah.
I don't care the scenario in any matchup, even in solo. You should never be fighting that camp plus the opponent at the same time. And that's what ended up happening here. They kind of salvaged the situation, though. They were able to get out with kind of minimal losses. Now they secure the first red. The question is, do they head across the map and try and prevent the opponent from getting the other one?
Well, at the very least, they can attempt to get the Gargantuan Sea Turtle and that Goblin Merchant Shop as well. We're just trying to trade experience right now on the map. And Turtle Rock, as you've mentioned, it's a pretty decent sized map, but there's so much dead space and so many red creeps that it feels like you constantly just run into your opponent, or your opponent is just one hill away, and sometimes you just don't know where they are.
What is this build by by ThundeR? There is no Sanctum, there is no Workshop. It's double Barracks Castle Tech. He's going for Knights. He wants to build a front line for MichaeL to focus on doing mass fiends, tri-hero statues. This is really wild here. It's very uncommon to play like this.
Yeah, well, we'll see. He's going to tier 3 here in just a moment. Meanwhile, yeah, the Knights are going to be able to rip through those Crypt Fiends or establish some sort of front line. There goes the Impales again, once more throwing up all of the units. And now we see a little bit more synergy, being able to use, well, a Storm Bolt followed by a Siphon Mana. But the Mountain King is in trouble. He is hexed, and it looks like it's going to go down to 40 hit points, 49. And he is able to be saved, running to the back with a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. But still, he realizes he needs to get out of there, as he will be able to back away again. And this is going to give SyDe and Spiral time to creep the other red creep camp.
Yeah, he banished the Mountain King immediately after the Death Coil landed, so he saved him because of that. They were not able to throw physical attacks his way. All of the nukes were gone, and then after that he was able to completely get out. Great save by ThundeR, because if he loses that, the rest of his army could just be stranded there, and then suddenly they're taking a really unfavorable fight. So for them to be able to eject out of there, it was kind of a good save, but yeah, as you said, securing that second big red camp by SyDe and Spiral is going to give them a very big lead in this game now.
Yeah, it was a really bad situation. They made it less bad, but at the end, we'll see whether or not those two items, and what were the items? Were they aura items? Where is the
They
item?
got double Helm of Valor on both of the reds. The Blade Master has plus 10 agility and plus 10 strength, so he's got 900 hit points and plus 20 damage right now with the claw.
All right, and there is a Kodo Beast out there, so yeah, that's some big damage indeed. Is that? Do we know if it's level 2 Critical Strike or level 2 Windwalk? That's going to be important.
Yeah, it's level 2 Windwalk.
All right.
If you want, I can send you the best overlay later for 2-on-2s. It's a different one than WT Booster. WT Booster is great for solo.
Yep. Oh, I would love that. Or I want to be able to see all of the skills of all of the units. Yeah. All right, so we are looking at, well, the human tri-hero Paladin is rounding out the team right there. We do have Knights, as you mentioned, in that front line. We are getting Sundream Blades and Animal War training as well. ThundeR sitting at 46 supply. Perhaps going to be staying in no upkeep for a little while before trying to flush out that entire front line. All of the creep camps on the map are already cleared out, and this is not even 12 minutes into the game. Maybe a couple oranges are left, but wow, only way to start any fighting or get experience is by engaging here, as the Blade Master may be in trouble. Gets a quick Windwalk, Dust of Appearance, but it's already too far away.
Oh my god, Spiral, that was so dangerous. A Blade Master was in the middle of two armies for a second. Fortunately for him, he was able to get out. And now I think we might be looking at the first really big fight here with over 100 supply per team. SyDe 57. We've got 60 for Spiral. On the other side, it's 49 for MichaeL and 50 for ThundeR. So definitely a bit of a supply deficit. But they have high tier units like Knights. He's got 4 of them total right now.
Yeah, Knights, he's also getting those upgrades. We are looking at, did they keep their Scroll of the Beast for this starting fight?
I don't see it. Yeah, I think they...
No, it's on the Death Knight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, MichaeL has, yeah. MichaeL. Is it Michael or MichaeL?
Well, with Korean letters and pronunciation, it is MichaeL.
Okay.
Like Michael is like, you know, American or something pronunciation. So then it's a question of how, like, you can say it how you want, but he says it MichaeL, so that's how I say it as well.
All right, I felt so bad. I'm like, is it MichaeL or Michael? Oh.
A town is under siege.
Right, Idra or Idra for so many years. So many years ago.
I don't think you're going to be getting an angry email from him someday about his nickname, so you're good.
All right, I'm good. All right, Spiral not making the same mistake, having fortified or reinforced defenses this time around, taking on that Voodoo Lounge in the front, though. Mountain King should be throwing in some Thunderclaps, trying to slow things down as well, as we're looking at Impales picking up units left and right. Knights really need to be able to get to that back line, but and hit onto all of those big Crypt Fiends, but the Crypt Fiends are able to attack freely from behind here, but both sides losing multiple units. Impales and Thunderclaps galore, as that Mountain King uses the Potion of Lesser Invulnerability in time. Holy Light's still going to save more Thunderclaps as well, more Impales picking up units, and this is a bloodbath, and it's difficult to tell who's winning.
It feels like Spiral and SyDe are starting to do a little bit better. All of the Knights are going to melt very quickly. Spirit Link is active on everything. What are you supposed to get against that? ThundeR didn't go for any priest with this spell. If you go for Destroyers, then there's so many fiends countering you already, and it looks like the European team might be about to seal the deal here with a snipe on the Crypt Lords.
And that is the GG right there. MichaeL and ThundeR losing game number 2 in this matchup, able to, Spiral and SyDe able to tie up the series as we go into game number 3.
That was very entertaining here, but maybe a little bit snowbally as well. You know, they got the advantage and then they just kept on expanding it and kind of winning every fight. It got scary at some point when they pulled the turtle by accident, but other than that, smooth sailing for the European team.
Yeah, that was just your classic when you're ahead, just find another way to get ahead. Spiral, gave a couple of opportunities to fall behind, but it didn't look like MichaeL and ThundeR really were able to capitalize on that at all. So we're going into game number 3.
Same name.
All right.
And MichaeL asked for a minute, so it's probably they live together, I believe, currently, but they're not. They're in different rooms, so he's probably going to his brother and talking to him and telling him, what were you doing, man? Come on, last night? I'm just kidding. They probably agreed on that.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think Mass Knights could could work on a much more open map like Twisted Meadows, but on a map that has so many narrow choke points, it felt like Spiral and SyDe just chose where they wanted to be, found a narrow choke point, and the Knights had no chance getting to those fiends at all.
Yeah. It was really well done by them this time around. I was very skeptical about the strategy of SyDe and Spiral because, like I said, I feel like the Chic and Bizarre style where you fast expand and then the Orc goes fast here, Headhunter, seemed really strong, at least from playing against them, but yeah, they pull through with it.
Well, you want to have more than one trick or one play in your playbook. So maybe we'll see that, the Farseer Headhunter strategy come out a little bit later. And we are going to be going on to what Shattered Exile.
Yeah. I'm not sure about having more than one trick, Bruce Lee once said, I'd rather fight the player that has practiced 1,000 builds one time than the one who's practiced Crypt Lord 1,000 times.
That is true. So having a tried and true strategy, I like what classic Russian, like just know your build, or happy style, know your build, know what you're gonna do every game and just play it to absolute perfection, versus I have 700 builds where one of them might work and I might choose the wrong one.
Absolutely. Just waiting on MichaeL. He's probably smoking, I just realized. Thank you so much, by the way, guys, we had a resub, Black Rayman as well with the 1. What you thinking, you in Happy on the team 2-on-2? I'm not. And Dave Drake as well with the resub. Much love, dude. Shattered Exile, one of the new maps. I probably saw it and we talked about it on the tunnel, but on the top of my head, I don't remember specifically what it looks like. So I'm very curious to see it now here.
Yeah, I'm wondering how many of these maps are actually new for the players as well. Like, when you're playing a new map for the first time, you kill something, you're like, oh, this creep drops this item, and you're trying to figure out your creep patterns and whatnot. As you said, this is only 3 days into the season.
Yeah, just 3 days. And they changed quite a bit of the maps, which I really like, by the way, having like a more of a dynamic rotation.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody ready? I want to see a longer game with super high level heroes. Like occasionally you get these epic 2-on-2 games. I really hope we see some of these. I'm sure we will, but the more they happen, the better for me.
Yeah, like those epic games where you have multiple level 5 heroes, you have ultimate abilities. That's really what we want to see, that end game composition. The last game, game number 2, was just that snowball effect that we saw from SyDe and Spiral, and Michael ThundeR having a difficult time trying to figure out a strategy, and then just gave the GG and is already had a 1-0 advantage. So moving on here into Shattered Exile. Now that you can see the mini map and move around the map, what do you make of it? What do you remember? I see a lot of green creep camps, but
Yeah.
only one. Is there only one red?
Yeah, kind of in an awkward position. I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly what it is, but I think the first thing I'm seeing is their builds. Like SyDe looks like he's going into Crypt Lord most likely. I think an expansion between both of SyDe and Spiral is very realistic. I don't think that camp is very tough to do. But I'm a little bit surprised to see Spiral. He's going for the same build, so he's not going... I would have expected Farseer Headhunter. Again, because I think it's like a very strong build. On the other side, we got MichaeL going for straight Fiends again. It's most definitely going to be the Crypt Lords. And ThundeR, you know, the Mount tanking experiment failed pretty bad, so he's going back to Archmage this time.
Yeah, Archmage followed up with what, Blood Mage. We'll see if that's going to work, trying to just funnel as much mana into the Crypt Lord. The Crypt Lord seems to be the main backbone of both of their strategies, being able to shut down opposing units for a long time and then just being able to beat up on them. As we're going into well, it actually SyDe's going into ghouls right now, so ghoul expansions perhaps in the center of the map, as you mentioned, and then they might start to try to get a feel for each other and what they're going to try and do.
Yeah, I feel like that expansion on the left has to be an almost certainty here this game. And with the scout from ThundeR here, he scouted the Orc player first, then now he's seeing the Crypt Lord come out. He should be able to tell pretty much what's going to be happening. We saw the way they played in game 1 was really, really smart, I thought, against this. With the big push on tier 2 when they were the strongest, basically.
A player's forces are
Yep.
under attack.
All right, we're looking at Spiral now running out across the map. Blade Master followed by those grunts here. We are looking at no second Orc Burrow from Spiral, so Spiral may be trying to go for a faster attack to tier 2. Meanwhile, Archmage is getting chased by the Blade Master. And during all of this time, we're looking at SyDe setting up the expansion over here at the left side of the map. And are we going to see a similar strategy from MichaeL where they're able to creep it out together? And what is this red creep camp here? So it's a bunch of Revenants and Elementals off to the north. Yeah, that is oddly situated in the middle of the map.
It's Razor and Morphling, bro. Let's just hope they don't have a Butterfly yet. Or
Player's
Lotus.
forces are under attack.
You ever play any Dota?
No, I do not. I played very little Dota, so I was trying to remember. I played Dota 2 on Steam, and that was pretty much it. So like Necromancer and my support. Anyways, let's go ahead and do here. ThundeR getting surrounded by a bunch of ghouls here, being forced to scroll of Town Portal out, and this is going to give SyDe plenty of time to get the Ziggurat into a Nerubian tower, and then perhaps even set up that haunted gold mine. What you really want to do in the 2v2 is you want to try and punish that expansion, force it to reset. But if SyDe is able to get it up with no challenges whatsoever, then they're going to be able to take that economic lead into the mid game and hopefully carry the game out long before ThundeR and MichaeL can punish them and not have that expansion pay for itself yet.
Yeah, really, I think their biggest power spike for MichaeL and ThundeR is when the Blood Mage gets there, as long as the Crypt Lord of MichaeL is level 3, because that's going to be Impel level 2 available. Thomas Ruppel with a host, thank you so much, my dude, much love. Ich liebe dich. Dankeschön.
Alright, coming back around, so Necropolis is taking the tier 2 Crypt Lord, well, healing up with that Ritual Dagger. As you mentioned, it does need to get to level 3. Archmage wants level 3 as well. And well, Shattered Exile, normally these Goblin Laboratories and Goblin Laboratories are orange creep camps. The fact that they were green is actually hurting MichaeL's chances, or MichaeL's chances of getting to level 3 for that level 2 Impale.
Damn, look at this Archmage, Lord of the Rings. Double ring,
Well,
+3, +4, he sells both. Instantly.
Well, Well, you know, as a human player, you love rings of protection, right? On your Archmage.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're the best for sure. Blade Master getting in position for the steal. There is an impale.
Oh,
Great
Blade Master
movement by
trying to...
Spiral.
Oh yeah, but Spiral just running around right there. He is taking a little bit of damage, dragging up that damage. There's the Impale, gonna go ahead and finish off that, pick up the item, but down to 157 hit points. Has to be careful. Blade Master does have Scroll of Speed, chasing after the Crypt Lord there, but the army is there, and the Blade Master wasn't healing up with a healing salve.
He kind of chickened out because that was his last win walk. Didn't have any more mana for a new one, and I think he would have died if he would have committed. But expansion being set up on the right-hand side, I wonder if SyDe and Spiral will be able to kind of suspect that this is happening and do something about it, because so far there's not been a scout nearby.
I think SyDe and Spiral are more concerned about the power spike that we were mentioning earlier. So if MichaeL and ThundeR are able to set up their expansion unopposed, it almost feels like well, SyDe and Spiral are going to be walking into a bit of a trap with misinformation. As we're looking at MichaeL, he does get to level 3, clearing out that elemental there.
ThundeR actually went for expansion before starting his second hero. So his second hero is super delayed, but because they're not doing the push anyway and they expand it, maybe he doesn't care. But there it is. Blood Mage finally starts. He's getting the lumber upgrades. Probably going to be double Sanctum if I had to guess. Yeah, there's no blacksmith for rifles. Spiral, he's got his tech. Bestiary and Totem just finished, but SyDe only recently started teching, so he's very, very late on this.
I am wondering if it is going to be double Sanctum and a lot of Spellbreakers, how effective SyDe's Crypt Lord and those Impales are going to be. We were looking at the Crypt Lords just constantly throwing up units in game number 2 and even game number 1. So if you have a front line that's completely immune to that, is it enough to just remove the effectiveness of the Crypt Lord from the battle?
Yeah, it's really tough. Like, there's a lot of things that the opponents can do, right? Like, if SyDe starts being siphoned, it feels like he almost certainly has to impale the Blood Mage. But then it might mean that it's not the best possible impale on the entire army that is landing. So he needs to be very skillful with his Crypt Lord. One good way to do it is to keep a lot of range. He doesn't have to go straight for the front line. Keep a lot of range between himself and the front line of the army. Go in, impale, pull back, rinse and repeat all the time. But it's very hard to do. You're not really used of having to do this.
Yeah, there's a lot more team dynamics that you have to be careful about in a 2v2 matchup. Well, Blade Master does scout out the expansion here. He is taking a little bit of feedback damage, but more importantly, he knows that there is an expansion up for ThundeR. So Spiral aside realize that they cannot hold back and just well, try and win this game on economy alone, but using the fact that there was a defending of the expansion, they were able to take out the red creep camp here and at least pick up the item. It is going to be a Cloak of Flames on that Crypt Lord as, well, MichaeL finally shows up, or MichaeL shows up to the battle here for the next engagement.
And they get caught as they are doing the big red camp in the center, by the way. It's really the worst timing this could have happened.
A player's forces are under attack.
Gonna be forced back here.
Yeah, they were able to at least pick up or finish off the level 8 creep and get the item. And it doesn't look like they're going to lose two. Well, they're going to lose a Raider here, but and a Grunt. Actually, no, never mind. You're right. Spiral taking a lot of losses here as a Scroll of Speed finally being used. Is going to save? Yes, it does, but the Grunt doesn't make it.
Yeah, with the expansion running on the other side, I'm actually curious what they're going to do with it. Like, there's double Sanctum for ThundeR. But it's going tier 3, so I guess maybe he wants to add the third hero down the line. Maybe go for some knights, get staff and orb ideally. Big Impale is gonna end on the ghouls. Oh my god. I don't know if ghouls is the right army to go against this, but because they expanded, they didn't really have a choice and went for that. Big Impale on the other side, landing Spiral on top of all of these fiends right now.
Yeah, major damage coming across on both sides. Impales on Crypt Fiends and Ghouls. As you mentioned, units are trying to retreat back here. Lower hit point Ghouls are able to retreat back as ThundeR is pushing around with those level 2 water elementals, being able to create some distance. Siphon mana onto the Shadow Hunter there as the Scroll of Town Portal. ThundeR is going to get out of the situation. MichaeL is a little bit one step behind. But once again, I think Spiral dodged a bit of a bullet. He was still building his War Mill as ThundeR and MichaeL were attacking, and reinforced defenses was not researched yet. So this could have been a loss of 2 to 3 Orc Burrows if they didn't get those Impales off and get a little bit lucky in that engagement, forcing those TPs.
You know, ThundeR is super in love with Zeppelins. Like, when he plays solo almost every game, he'll be Zeppelin harassing. And he was fighting right next to the lab. I feel like for sure while his Archmage was being targeted, this crossed his mind. He saw this live, he's like, do I do it? Do I? And then he was like, nah, probably too risky. Like he wasn't crept yet. You know, there was a chance it gets caught. So he just picked the safe option. He town poloed, not even at the last second. He town poloed, you know, early enough to make sure he was going to get out of there. And I like that because it's not a fight they really needed to take. You know, both teams have one expansion. And the tier 3 hasn't yet fully kicked in. Like we see the Lich now only on the way for MichaeL. He's getting Destroy form. And on the other side, Castle's about to finish. So they didn't have to commit to a fight just yet.
Yeah, also, last-minute Scrolls of Town Portal are extra dangerous in 2v2s. With Impale and Hex available, it feels like sometimes your unit's just completely, well, it's just stun-locked, as we see ThundeR getting caught just trying to walk out of his base, being forced to Scroll of Town Portal back, and now perhaps MichaeL needs to do a Scroll of Town Portal. No, Death Knight has the Scroll of Town Portal, but it looks like MichaeL is ready to just try and push SyDe's base. Meanwhile, it's going to be a 2-on-1 fight over at ThundeR's top right-hand side as well.
Yeah, but MichaeL's push on the other side is going to get the altar. You cannot even send the Acolytes to repair because there is Impale level 2. They will get wrecked. He's going to get the snipe on the altar just before the Lich is out. This is a big snipe here by MichaeL, who must be considering town portaling right now, but I'm sure his brother told him, no, I'm fine. I'm behind my wall here. Faking the town portal on the Expo.
All right, so Town Portal on the Expo is going to be repaired. In comes the Undead army, quickly gets impaled right there. All the heroes quickly currently getting stunned. Impale going back the other way. ThundeR should be able to, no, not able to hold it, as both Spiral and SyDe able to retreat back. A couple of ghouls were trying to join in on the fight, running all the way across the map. One gets caught by a slow, but SyDe and Spiral being able to take down the expansion of ThundeR as it was, well, not heavily defended.
The Death Knight died after he TP'd.
Wait, what?
Yeah. SyDe's Death Knight TP'd and he died in the base immediately after the TP. Like
was there a lightning shield? What happened?
No, I don't know. He wasn't the hero that was TPing. He was the Crypt Lord. And then he took a lot of damage, and I guess like one of the damage mid-air somehow connected even across the map after the TP went through. So weird. But they're re-engaging here. MichaeL and ThundeR feel like they've done a lot of damage. They've lost expansion, so they feel like they have to attack now. And that's where the altar is. And because SyDe lost his altar earlier, he couldn't get Lich, and now he had to remake the DK, so he still doesn't have Lich this whole time.
Yeah, no, one of the main reasons to go for tier 3 as Undead is that Lich with that Orb of Corruption. So, right, currently, the Undead army is missing that massive power spike that you normally see at level 3, as Spiral is also going to lose his Altar of Storms. All right, Scout Towers being placed down here. It looks like MichaeL and ThundeR are going to go ahead and try and push this position. Meanwhile, the other side of the base, SyDe and Spiral, are going to be trying to push in not only the main base, but actually the expansion here. Mass Ghoul is going to be swarming ThundeR's expansion, while the main base of MichaeL is actually under a bit of duress, as well as the Obsidian statues are going to try and prolong this push as long as they can. ThundeR going to go ahead and Scroll of Town Portal over to the expansion for the save, as those ghouls are now going to be forced to retreat, but the main base still suffering a good amount of damage.
Yeah, the main base of Spiral is down here. Mining very limited. And I think we're going to have the big fight here, perhaps. It's really in I feel like it's more for SyDe and Spiral to decide. Expansion or like mining base count is the same, and if given some gold, Spiral maybe could restart his main base. I just don't know how many peons he has left. I don't see any. He might have lost all of his peons.
Yeah, no, I don't see any in the Orc Burrows. So if there's a time to attack, it is now. It's not going to get any better later on. The most you can hope to do is perhaps punish your opponent or shut them down on the other side. But it looks like well, SyDe and Spiral's indecision may end up becoming a bigger wall for them to overcome here in just a little bit.
Oh yeah, that base survived. Or like ThundeR remade that base on the right-hand side, so it's actually they have one more mining base now. ThundeR and MichaeL, that is.
Oh, so it is 3-2, and yeah, Spiral can't pick up a. No, there's no tiny Great Hall in the inventories or anything like that.
SyDe has a gigantic army here, 69. He finally got the Lich out, but it's only level 1. They're kind of scouting all over the place with beetles. And I think that knowing that they're one mining base behind, Spiral and SyDe are about to attack. But where do you attack? I feel like maybe they should go for that base on the right side. The main base of MichaeL might not be the best spot. It's like really hard to get a good engagement there.
Yeah, and there's only about 4,000 gold left, so it's not like if the game does go long, they're going to be able to get that much here. Anyways, we're going to be looking at Destroyers pushing in Kodo Beast in the back, triple Obsidian statues.
Oh, there's no TP.
No TP. Oh, Cryptlord's going to be in trouble. He's right in that front line side. Are we going to get a Scroll of Town portal trying to save? No, there's going to be a Hex, and the Cryptlord at level 4 gets taken down. Blood Mage throws down a Flame Strike for extra good measure, trying to walk them through, as we're now looking at ThundeR throwing down Blizzard as well. Ensnare, stopping that in its tracks, and a Hex following up. Archmage could get taken down. No, he's going to use a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, throw down a Blizzard again, as that damage on that front line trying to eat through as well. Mortar teams trying to reposition it into the back, perhaps trying to get some free damage again, as we're still engaging, and it looks like SyDe and Spiral are continuing this push as the Archmage may get trapped here, down to 140 hit points, nowhere to run. It gets taken down as the Blood Mage needs to launch another Flame Strike or Siphon Mana, do something here, as Spiral and SyDe are completely surprising ThundeR and MichaeL with how long this push can go, but how much gas is left in this Blitzcrank.
Yeah, Ghouls and Grubs putting in work with the Vampiric. Alright, that's gonna be it here. The European teams, SyDe and Spiral, get the first match win here in this match.